Hello everybody, this is the Goofsome Fox coming at you with my part 1 review here of the 1/144th scale Dragonar Set 1. And I guess this is a set of model kits that I picked up at a store near me recently, and well, I decided to try them out and do these reviews on them. Gonna do it in parts because there are 4 kits included in this, as well as some added weapons as well, so it would be a bit easier for me to do this in parts than just one big old video, so that's what I'm doing here. Today we're going to be starting off with the Dragonar 3 plus Lifter 3, and that's what we have in front of us here. And a few things before I get started with looking at the packaging and whatnot. I will say that these kits do require glue. They're not like regular high-grade Gundam kits where you can just snap them together. And yep, had to glue this together, and what I used for this was this here. Got this at Michael's, some testers. Glue is cement for plastic models. It's worked very well for this kit here. All you have to do is really get you some very thin brushes and kind of go along where it tells you to glue, and it will hold together fairly well. So yeah, just a fair warning that if you do decide to get these, you are going to need glue to put this guy together, as well as probably some paint, as well as when we get to the aesthetic part of this video, you will see that there is quite a lot of paint detailing missing. But before we look at the Dragonar 3 here itself, I'm going to pull them to the side. We're going to do the usual routine and take a quick look at the packaging here. And yes, as you can see, this is a very big box, so I'm going to try to cover this best I can. And as you can see here, we have our 4 kits that are included in this set painted on the box here. We got the Dragonar 2 plus Lifter 2, the Dragonar 3 plus Lifter 3, the Dines, I think is how you say that, and the Drew. And it says on the side too, there is also an extra weapons kit for these 2 right here, so you do get some added weapons for this one. Aside from that, we have a Bandai Namco logo on the top there, blue Bandai logo there, Dragonar logo, as this is the Dragonar Set 1. And try to do this best I can because this is a big monstrosity of a box. Starting off with the side here, we have some pictures of what these kits would look like if they were, well, fully painted. And yeah, you might have already seen again that the Dragonar 3 is definitely missing some of its color, so we'll cover that all in the aesthetics. But this side we have name 1/144th scale Dragonar Set 1, as well as that picture again. This side we have a picture of the Dragonar 1 plus Lifter 1 kit, as well as some other optional kits here. Very nice. And then this side over here, we have pretty much the same thing as the other side, except this is the side that has the warning here on the side, and the back is just, barren cardboard, except for the price tag. I got this for 52 bucks. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that this box has to offer. So with that out of the way, let's jump into the kit itself. So starting off with the aesthetics here of the Dragonar 3, I'm going to say beforehand that yeah, we don't have a whole lot of detail going on here. This kit is missing a lot of color because yeah, they do want you to paint it. If you look at the manual here, you can see a lot of the color that is missing. So if you aren't someone who paints their kits, yeah, you're going to be missing a lot of detail on this one. But overall, I still think this kit does have a lot of nice details going on for it. Starting off with the head here, we got that very round satellite head here, and I think this is a pretty cool head design. I do like the Isaac or the Ewak Zack from Gundam, so I do really like suits that kind of have, or just robots in general, that have this unique, more like roundish head design sense. So I do think it's pretty cool. It's pretty different too, so it is part of the reason I do really like it. You got a blue sticker in the front there for the front camera, as well as some red, a large red sticker up here for some added detail. You got some antennas up there, and Well, yeah, the other sensors here do have stickers that go with them, but they do not peel off of the sticker sheet. You have to cut them off individually, and much like painting kits, I'm not very good at cutting out stickers, so I did avoid putting them on just to make sure I don't actually mess up those stickers. I might put them on a later date, but for now, this is kind of how I have it for the moment. Moving on to the torso here, we got some added detailing here for more sensor cameras. Got some pipes in there as well, and well, yeah, there's another unfortunate case of nothing here is, colored, except for the few stickers that they did give, so a lot of that detailing is going to be just white. You do have a little logo up there as well, so yeah, you're going to be missing a lot of that detailing. Arms here, arms are pretty good. They got some nice shoulder and arm designs going on here, especially up here. I do like this little detailing that this piece here has in the interior. The hands are pretty much hands, pretty simple there. Got a rifle in this hand here, and yeah, pretty nicely detailed gun there. Got a pretty big scope. The legs, you got some added leg armor on the sides, and the feet, or the bottom legs, do have some blue stickers meant to add some color, so that is a nice thing there that is actually included. On the back here, you got some back fins, probably similar design to the head ones here, probably meant to be like sensor fins, and aside from that, the back is, well, your pretty standard back. For the Lifter 3 here, yeah, it is only white. There is no added stickers or anything for this here. You have, again, that crest that's on the chest piece, as well as some vent detailing there. You got some wing detailing going all around. Got some missiles at the bottom. And then for the back here, for these thrusters, you do have some inner thruster detailing. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. But yeah, not too much going on here. Pretty simple accessory there design. So, yeah, if you're not someone who paints their kits, you're gonna be missing a lot of detail on this. But as it stands now, it is still a pretty cool design, and I think it still has somewhat of a presence to it. Probably is gonna be helped by the fact that it is primarily white when the other kits in this set aren't. So, I think if you do display all these in the most basic form, I think in the end this one is gonna stand out a bit more from the others, just for being a different color from the rest. But well, that's gonna be something I'll have to see in the future when I build the rest of them. But yeah, aesthetically for the most part, pretty good. Just missing that detail. So, moving on to our accessories here. Dragonar 3 comes with 2 accessories on its dedicated runners, that being this gun here. And yeah, the gun is super glued into the hand, it's kind of just sandwiched in there, or well, cement and glued, so it does say they want you to glue it in, if I remember correctly, so I did. I don't think any of the other weapons that this set comes with is meant for this kit, although there is some accessories that looks like it's for the Dragonar 1 kit, which this does not include, but looks like there is some added stuff that maybe this might be compatible with, such as some beam sabers, so might be something worth experimenting when I finish up the whole set. But aside from that, you have your Lifter 3 here, and yeah, this is a pretty basic flight unit here. Again, pretty basic design as I mentioned in the aesthetics, but does have some movement here. You can fold these wings up here, and how you install this is pretty simple. All you really need to do is take the head off, and yeah, that's just a peg on a little polycap inside the head. You put this on top like so, and then you get the head, you put that on, and make sure it's in, and yep, there you go. The weight of the head is what just kind of keeps this in place, so you don't really have to worry about it moving or falling off or anything. The head does do a pretty good job at holding it in place, and yeah, that's all you really got to do for that. You extend your wings, and there you go. You got your Lifter 3 here. Try to fix this back antenna there, but yeah, pretty simple stuff going on here. It still looks pretty cool though. I do like how well this blends on the top here. It's not like you can really tell that this is just kind of sandwiched in between the head and the torso. It does blend in pretty well for this kit, so it is a pretty nice advantage there. Really adds to the look, so I'd say, yeah, pretty cool accessory overall, and that's all we have here. Very basic set here, but does what it needs to do, and comes with everything it seems like it needs to come with. Really only thing, again, that's really missing is just, as I mentioned the last part, the aesthetics is missing a lot of that, but as the accessories as they are by themselves, they do have some pretty cool looks, and the back does have some functionality, so say overall, pretty cool. Moving on to articulation here, and there isn't going to be really too much I can say for this segment, because, yeah, this kit is very lacking in the articulation front. Kind of like, yeah, I say next to paint, or just next to color in general, it is very much lacking in that department as well. The head here does have full 360 movement, so that's pretty good. Arms can go up that far before you end up hitting the head, and then the can go back this far. You can get it more without the lifter 3, but you are still limited by the head. You can get it just up really to where the head is there, so you are still limited. Again, with the back, these can move in and out. I'm going to leave those in for now because this will be a bit easier to keep this guy on screen. Let's see, you can move the arm out that far. Got some hand movement here, bit of wiggling there. You can kind of turn it, not that one, let me try to, you can turn it a bit in there, so yeah, do have some rotation in there of some kind, and that's the same for the other arm as well. For the legs, you can kick up this far, and then you can go back only that far. Yeah, you really do not have anything for leg movement there, at least at the upper part. You have somewhat of a spread. As for leg bend, yeah, you got a pretty good leg bend. I would say the leg bend on this is pretty good. And for the feet themselves, you got some side to side, a bit of forward to back. You got way more going up than back there. And yeah, that's really everything that this guy has going for him. Again, not really anything too much for articulation, just a very, very basic just movement. You can still get him in some pretty decent posing, so I don't think posing is going to be too much of an issue if you do want to pose this guy a bit, but I will say if you're trying to get some like very like big action poses, I don't think it's going to be the most possible thing with this kit. Again, there's only a few things that I've managed to pull that do look cool, but for the most part, he looks a bit better just kind of standing, like, you know, arms down, just kind of like that almost, and that's kind of how they present him on the box as well. But I'm sure with enough dedication that you can get something really cool that you like. The side of the box did kind of show him in poses, so there's options, but it's not going to be the most articulated thing in the world. So if you are someone who values articulation, I don't think this kit in particular is going to be one of your favorites, unfortunately. And now for some simple size comparisons. Here is the Dragonar 3 next to Beast Alliance Scorponok for the Rise of the Beast toy line. Here he is next to a Master Grade Goof. And then here it is next to, or really behind, a very tiny Goof. So, what are my final thoughts here on the Dragonar 3 plus Lifter 3? Yeah, I think for the most part, it's a pretty alright kit, but it still has the issues I mentioned before. Primarily that articulation is very limited, and that it is also lacking in color design. So, yeah, I think it was a fun build to do, and I do think it still looks pretty cool the way it is now, but if you're somebody who, you know, is trying to buy this and just wants the kit to look the way it's supposed to, like straight out of the box, then this is definitely not going to be for you, because the other kits in this set too are probably also going to have that same limited issue. Something I'll have to wait to when I build them to really make the final opinion on that, and that's kind of what I'm going to do for this too. I'm going to make all these separate videos and then do the final verdict on whether to get the whole box or not. But I think for this kit, I do think it's a good first impression, because overall, again, it was a fun build, a pretty easy build, even for somebody like me who has not worked with Modeler's Glue before. I did have a lot of fun really working on this kit, and I don't think it really would be too hard as long as you really take your time. But again, the main issue is just it's lacking in aesthetic, because it's lacking a lot of its color. It's primarily a white base with a few stickers thrown on it. So there's that, and then articulation, a bit limited, even though you can still pull some things with it, but those are really my only two gripes about it. Accessories, I think, are pretty good, and for the most part, yeah, I think it's a pretty snazzy little kit. Still looks pretty cool overall, and yeah, that's all I really have much to say about it. So that's going to wrap it up for part 1 here of my 1/144th scale Dragonar box set 1. And yeah, I think overall, pretty good kit by itself. So I'm not going to say it's worth getting the whole box over, but we'll see in the end if this is something that will be a pretty good package deal. And with that, comment down below what you think about the Dragonar 3 plus Lifter 3 here. And remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And with that, I will see you all in the next one. Later.